Hello, 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 hello. I believe we are live, people. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. So today we're going to be taking a look at the TikTok Discord mod who got caught again. This is actually somebody I've been keeping track up with a lot lately. Just because I just think he's a really interesting dude. Like, I mean, he's nasty, he's a creep, he's weird, but he's I guess they call him lol cows. I just learned this term a few months ago. I guess it's like people on the internet that you kind of laugh at them and like everybody kind of looks in there like ha ha, but you know, you really don't feel so bad because they're kind of terrible people too. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these people got like for instance, this person, NovaOnline, has these allegations, but I'm happy to be back on live. Happy to be here. Definitely just make yourself comfortable if you're watching this to the playback, and let's just get straight into it, man.
How I wonder where you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky.
Meet NovaOnline, a man whose reputation truly precedes him. Initially going viral on TikTok just for his unorthodox appearance, but now being one of the most
That sweater was fire, huh? That sweater was gas. Are y'all feeling the sweater?
hated figures on every social media platform that he frequents. When we last checked in on Nova, he had been thoroughly exposed for inappropriate actions with minors on Discord, and he wasn't handling the consequences too well. My prescription was that some people are just not capable of handling internet attention, and he is clearly one of them, and he should just log off. Unfortunately, he did not. Now he's in even more.
He should just log off.
The Discord server is coming soon, and this time it's 18 plus.
72 hours later.
I'm never making another Discord server again. This is the fourth.
This is the story of how NovaOnline keeps ruining his life.
Wait, why is there a salad behind this man? Like, why they got that? Looks to be. You know what? I know exactly what that is. That is an Olive Garden salad. You can see the little pepperzini or whatever they call them, little pepperzinis. That's definitely an Olive Garden salad, which they kind of slap. I really wish though if they had just thrown some ranch on those guys though. I'm not gonna lie, like I would probably crush them way harder. Like if they had like, you know what I'm saying? There's a big difference in the ranches out here. There's a real high quality ranch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Longhorns, that's a pretty good ranch. You know, wing places will have normally a good ranch, or they'll have those little, you know, plastic cup looking ranches that just be standard. The hidden valleys, you know what I mean? But, yeah, off topic, but hey, that's definitely an Olive Garden salad.
The server got nuked. The server. No!
Gabriel Gage, like many Zoomers, was always desperate for internet fame. He'd first start his career by making YouTube videos where he played video games, but he was ultimately lost in the sea of others doing the same exact thing. Not to mention the fact that the gameplay quality was extremely poor and his equipment was really bad, but hey, IShowSpeed managed to blow up under those circumstances, so it's not impossible. But whatever the case, Nova failed to
Let's be real here. IShowSpeed is a different breed. Like this man was willing to like burn his house down and like have cops come into his house and stuff for the fame. Like this man, like IShowSpeed is not normal. There's a reason IShowSpeed is famous for sure.
Gain any real traction. But once he moved over to TikTok, he would finally get the attention he was craving so much.
Trying Wingstop for the first time. Cajun seasoned fries. Okay. Mildly spicy, but nothing that I can't bear. These are actually pretty decent. 8 out of 10. Mango habanero wings. Oh, wow.
You know, the crazy part too about Nova is I feel like if he didn't have these allegations against him, like everybody would just root for him. I feel like people like Nova, like a little awkward, like, you know what I'm saying? He's still trying to work. He's still on here. He's, you know, obviously doing his little like wing videos or whatever. I feel like people would really root for Nova if he wasn't such a creep. Like if this man was not such a creep, like people would be like, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember there was this one dude, I don't know, remember what his name was, but he was, he was like lifting weights, and dude was like 90 pounds soaking wet, and everybody was rooting for him because we're like, hey, if you can do it 90 pounds soaking wet and have like the biggest like fitness influencers and everything with you, like that's cool. Everyone wants to see the guy who's down bad, the person who let's say doesn't get girls. Everybody wants to see the person who sucks at basketball make a shot in a game. You know what I mean? So like Nova, he really did it to himself. He's so strange.
Very, very spicy. Oh, wow.
Very, very spicy.
Very spicy, but they're still pretty good. 7 out of 10.
This video went absolutely viral, getting millions of views within hours, albeit mostly for the wrong reasons. People basically just made fun of his appearance as the stereotypical Discord moderator, with greasy hair, a neck beard, the whole 9 yards. But for the time being, Nova was seen as relatively harmless, just a weird dude who people like to check in on to see whatever his latest cringe post
What's up,
was.
whoever's in the chat? What up? Hope your day's going good.
Who he thought was a 14-year-old girl, as well as a number of very
that's crazy.
leaks. People began to further dig into Nova's online history, discovering a list of strange interactions with minors, as well as his, shall we say, unorthodox sexual interests, particularly binkies, diapers, and being a baby in general.
One thing, having the binky is wild as an adult man, but the real question here is, why did this man think it was okay to sit there and take a selfie with the binky, and then he clearly posted it somewhere, which is why we can see it? That's why. That's where you're insanely out of pocket.
This on its own is strange enough, but it definitely gets past the point of no return when you realize he was exchanging his ideas and interests with people.
This is weird.
And Nova wasn't exactly handling all of the negative attention and trolling he got as a result in the smartest manner he possibly could have.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. My main account just got hacked. My main account just got hacked. I am really working.
He acting like everybody else should care when I feel like no one really cares. We all watch Nova for his antics and stuff, not his actual content. I get it. He's panicking. It makes sense why he's panicking. So I guess it makes sense.
Really hard to get it back.
So Nova's chance at becoming a mainstream internet celebrity had officially been blown, as YouTube video after YouTube video was released calling him out for his irresponsible activities. He did try to get a few jobs in his area, but it wouldn't be long before at least some of the local employers became aware of who he was online and all of the baggage that came along with that. And a lot of them weren't too keen to hire him, at least at that time. With various minimum wage job opportunities ruined and his face plastered across hundreds of thumbnails calling him a disgusting person, the smart move honestly would have been to quit. The problem is that Nova has developed an addiction to the internet. Before he had blown up, he was just another face in the seemingly endless sea of people trying to make it on YouTube. Now he was famous, or rather infamous. He craved validation for his own existence, even if that validation was negative. And that brings us to February of 2025, when my first video about Nova was released. While Nova had been doing his best to hide his strange interests, he wasn't doing a very good job of it, with it being discovered that his Facebook account was following a page called Babyfur/ABDL Caregivers and Littles. For the unaware,
hey yo, baby, like let me say that out loud real quick. Babyfur ABDL Caregivers and Littles. Look at the picture in the like. Okay, strange activity. To each their own, you know. To each their own.
ABDL refers to adult baby diaper lovers. In other words,
actually, no, not to each their own. I'm roasting. Like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not wearing diapers just to wear diapers. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. I feel like I don't know. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong for this. But if you wearing a diaper and you 30 years old, I'm gonna judge you. Like why don't you use the restroom? Like, I feel like some certain skills, you know what I'm saying, are just like basic human skills, and I feel like using the restroom has to be one of those basic human skills, kind of like eating. Like, if your homie, you're trying to eat, you guys are, imagine you're out to eat with your homies, y'all getting wings, and one of your boys just keeps choking on his wing because he just doesn't know how to eat. Like, you would say, this is bad, this is not a good thing, this is abnormal, and I'm all for people being different, you know what I'm saying? I'm all for, like, you know what I'm saying, people be able to do what they want, but I'm not all for people taking massive dookies in they diaper. Like, I don't think that's good for society.
Adults who like wearing diapers and role playing as children. It's pretty sickening and generally has a lot of overlap with those who have inappropriate interactions with minors, which makes perfect sense for the subject of today's video. The reason that ABDL stuff is so appealing to them is often because they will identify with their victims. Henceforth, they want to appear to be children and be treated like children while also being around children. I'm not going to get more graphic than that, but that is the idea in these people's minds. With this being discovered, it was immediately reported in a video from Smokey MCC, one of the channels that has been documenting his every move that serves as a very useful resource for following his antics. Nova would instantly pop up in the live stream chat of him and Kiwi Tapes, declaring, "Screw you, Smokey." The other chatters would immediately sniff out this new account and tell him to leave, to which he responded, "All truth will be revealed, and you'll see they were all wrong." He decided to turn British for a moment, telling people in the chat who were making fun of him to piss off, wanker, before finishing on a very ominous message. "You'll see."
No, I do love the I used to play soccer back in the day. I always loved like the English accent when it comes to like soccer terms, you know, like play left, like, you know, play me left, come on. Come on. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's so great for a nice game of football, you know what I mean? Like, come on, play me. Like, also the same, like pásale pelota, pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? It just rings better. I feel like this is why these cultures are way better at like soccer, football than us. Like their dialogues, chef's kiss, way smoother. Let's be real here. An Englishman or like a person with a Latin accent just sounds smoother than somebody with an American accent. I'm sorry. And like, I'm black, I'm from Atlanta. You really mean to tell me I come up to a girl talking about some, "Hey, yo, what's up, twin?" Like, you really mean that's not smooth. Like, that's not smooth.
Smokey and Kiwi were wrong about me. It's only a matter of time. He would also personally shoot Smokey an email in regards to the Facebook discovery. "You are
shot him an email.
Lawsuit, Smokey. I don't even check Facebook that often, and I log on like once every 6 months. So why don't you duck off?" Nova had been out of a job for a good amount of time, and seemingly he was having a hard time getting a new one. This is for a multitude of reasons. It's partially his own laziness, but also partially because, as I said before, some of the local businesses had been informed of his reputation, at least the ones that were contacted by trolls after he stated where he would be working on his TikTok account. This meant he had a lot more time on his hands to make TikToks and try to blow up as much as possible. Maybe he thought he could make enough money from his TikTok that he just wouldn't ever need a real job. In an effort to recapture some sort of notoriety, Nova's content began shifting into a few different directions. If you can't already tell, this guy loves food. The thing he blew up for in the first place was reviewing a fast food item. So a lot of his content from the beginning of 2025 would revolve around his thoughts on some exquisite cuisine, from food reviews to cooking tutorials and everything in between. And
I wasn't gonna lie, that chicken skewer was looking kind of good. I was looking like it could get buzzed down. I know y'all saw that chicken skewer there, or beef. It looked like a beef skewer. It was looking kind of good.
In this first video, he shows himself opening up a new set of knives to cut up some chicken with and make a delicious lunch.
We trusting this man around like kitchenware? I don't know if I would trust this man around kitchenware, to be honest.
So, I found this kitchen knife set at a local grocery store for $4 because it was discontinued by the manufacturer. I could not pass up on it. So in this video, we're going to test it out.
Dang, whipped it out. Pause.
1683 to 84.
I can't help but get the feeling this is meant to be intimidating in some kind of way. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that a serial killer is in the making here. He would also try to directly recreate the initial success he had by mimicking his first viral video ever, reviewing some Taco Bell items.
Taco Bell released 4 new items. And of course, I'm going to try them all.
It looked like he got 9,000 likes right there. Like, I mean, it sounds like he's doing pretty good. You know, it's crazy because like situations like this are wild to me because it's like NovaOnline is famous for being a creep. He's famous for being on what I would consider, other than, you know, somebody, the worst action that is you could possibly do to someone. But at that same time, the only reason why Nova isn't making tons of money on these channels and stuff is because he's just weird and just won't drop content and stuff. Like, he still gets enough views to where, like, obviously he lives off of his content. Obviously he doesn't have a job, but he could make a lot if he dropped every day, actually dropped real content. Like, this man would make a ton of money. And it's like, I don't think he deserves to, because I mean, I think he's a terrible person. But, you know, it's just interesting that it's like, dudes like me out here grinding, trying to get to it every day. But this dude's over here hyped because he's a weirdo. Let's be real here. He's hyped because he's a weirdo. And when I say weirdo, I don't mean like he's a little socially awkward. He's a nerd. No, I mean, he likes to talk to minors. That's what I mean. Like, he's an actual weirdo. Like,
this is something you'll see with a lot of formerly popular TikTokers. When things start sliding into the abyss and they've run out of ideas, they will retread the past to try and recapture some semblance of what worked in the first place. One of the most viral memes of Nova from last year was a clip of him at a local business proclaiming his need for some soup.
Can I get a French onion soup, please?
As a result, he would reference this meme again, while also trying out some Middle Eastern cuisine.
You guys may remember the first food review that I did from when I worked at the French onion soup place. It was do souvlaki lamb kebabs with the French onion soup. Today,
that sounds kind of buzz. Ain't gonna lie, that sounds kind of buzz.
we're going back to that fateful day. But let's try the lamb itself. Let's just get a piece.
I would crush that.
Oh. Oh my god. Legendary tenderness, legendary seasoning. And now next up, the news clip that went viral, the German onion soup. You cannot get a French onion soup, please. This is all mine.
Perhaps, given how much you love this food, we can take it as his official endorsement of Gaza in regards to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Frankly, his silence on the subject has been deafening, so it's good to hear him finally speak up for Palestine. But referencing memes from his past didn't seem to be working, as the only people watching Nova's content by this point were those who already hated him and wanted to keep up with whatever embarrassing thing he would do next. So for the time being at least, he was doing his best to not feed them, and not get into any more allegations. He wanted some peacetime, and he wanted to enjoy and review some food.
Every meat from Dickie's barbecue pit, part 1, because they were out of some of the meats. First up, let's try the turkey.
It just mirrors turkey always dry. Like, even a juicy turkey kind of dry. Like, even a juicy turkey, I don't know. Like, I like turkey. Like, I feel like turkey straight, but like, I feel like the best turkey I've ever had, like, still like mid, like, in a way. Like, it may be juicy, maybe Cajun, you know what I mean? But it's just, I feel like turkey's just a weak meat, and like, pause. But like, I feel like some meats are just weaker than other ones. Like, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's life. Like, that's life. But I feel like turkey is just it's just a meat that's not designed to like really have juice in it. Like, and don't sit out here. I know y'all done had a dry Thanksgiving turkey. Stop. Like, if you never had a dry Thanksgiving turkey, like, don't even talk to me, because I know you're not even being real with me. Like, come on now. Like, come on now. I'm sure you've had juicy ones too. Like, I'm not hating on your family Thanksgiving turkey, but I'm just saying, like, everybody knows exactly what I mean when I'm talking about a dry turkey. And y'all know y'all have more dry turkeys than y'all have wet turkeys. Let's keep it a stag. Pause.
So flavorful, so juicy, and one of my favorite meats at Dickie's.
Of course it is.
Watching this feels like he's trying to use language that someone like Gordon Ramsay would use. So flavorful, so juicy.
So juicy.
But I'm not sure why anyone would want to watch someone like him review food. Whatever the case really is from his perspective, the food review content would continue with him frequently ordering out, which is pretty expensive, but especially for someone with literally no income. In a throwback to what feels like the old days of YouTube, he would attempt
the old 007, that's crazy.
PlayStation 5 to see if the system was backwards compatible within 2 console generations.
Right. So, I read something online that PS3 games work on PS5.
Bro just said something about PS3 games working on PS5. I know NovaOnline, he spends all his time online. He's literally like, he's a Discord mod. Like, that's all they do. And this man really think his PlayStation 5 gonna play a piece. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. I'm just gonna let it play out. Ridiculous.
Now, Sony may not want you to know this, if this actually works, because this is insane. Unsupported disc.
It's hard to say if he ever actually thought this would work or was being intentionally ignorant to bait people into clicking on this TikTok. What isn't hard to say is that he was basically throwing anything at the wall to see what would stick.
So I went to a Vietnamese restaurant after a job interview and the gym, and I figured that I would rate.
Did Nova say the gym? This is funny. We only what? 10 minutes into the video. I'm having a great time. This man's hilarious. Also, too, you have to realize this video was made 5 months ago. I've seen NovaOnline. Nova has not been in the gym, y'all. Nova has not been in the gym. I haven't been in the gym. I was in there a little bit ago. Did a few months in the gym. I haven't been in there for like 2 weeks, so I definitely got to get right on that. Got to get back on that. But I'm not out here claiming to have been in the gym. Yeah, Nova was not in the gym.
The food I had there. I would have filmed at the restaurant, but I did not feel comfortable filming inside. So
You have to appreciate the fact that Nova states he went to a job interview and the gym. This is not a normal way to talk about anything. People don't typically preface explanations of their day by,
What is that sauce at the top? Like, it looks like turkey, soy sauce, and then, bro, I'm not gonna lie, that look like nacho cheese. What is that? I'm not gonna lie, that's not yum yum sauce. That looked like nacho cheese.
adding in totally irrelevant
Diabolical.
activities that they did before.
Absolutely
But the reason he did
diabolical.
this is that he wants to communicate to the audience that he is, in fact, not the lazy Discord moderator that everyone sees him as. While many people may point out that he's out of shape, he is exercising. And while many people may also point out that he is unemployed, he insists that he is looking for work. As far as exercise goes, Nova semi-frequently posts videos of himself at the gym, albeit with poor form on every exercise and barely exerting himself at all. He also constantly gets mogged by the 40-year-olds in the background who are actually trying their hardest.
It's good that he's actually in there. Like, he's in there a few times. I just know he wasn't consistent at all.
Talking loudly with headphones on.
Well, I'm not gonna blame him for that because I'm not consistent either.
Which leads those around him to get upset with him annoying the general gym-going crowd. Take, for example, this video, where he gets scolded by a gym employee after he loudly swears.
Try decreasing 100 pounds, dip.
Excuse me? Could you clean up your language, please?
With him posting his workouts online, a lot of people would accuse him of, well, not exercising very well. But he would make sure to prove to them that he does in fact exercise by hopping on the elliptical for like 4 minutes and posting that to his audience.
Y'all, I'm live, cardioing to the whole GNX album. It's live right now. I hope I pointed at the follow icon. To those of you saying I don't do cardio, here's proof I actually do.
While looking through his exercise videos, I personally have seen no progress from the guy. But hey, we can't all be the trend twins. Maybe Nova subscribes to the idea of being a science-based lifter. And at the end of the day, his all-natural diet of Wingstop and Dr. Pepper will definitely take a little bit longer to get where he wants to be. But he'll get there someday. To be honest, when I watch videos of him trying to work out, I almost feel bad for him. His form is so bad, and he clearly is just filming this stuff to prove to the audience that he is trying to get jacked or trying to exercise and lose weight. I wish someone could just help this dude out.
Yeah, it's like you really want to root. You really want to root for people like this. You know what I mean? Everybody want to see the underdog come up. Like, that's what we all love. Like I said, you want to see the dude who gets no girls. You want to see him all of a sudden swag up, turn it up, and then all of a sudden be outside. Like, everybody loves to see a come up story. You want to see, you know what I'm saying, the person who came from nothing turn into something. That's what we love. And it's like, it's almost sad to like watch this, because it's like, man, it'd be cool if this dude, like this lame man, I'm sorry, like came up really, like he already got YouTube clout. Like he already got like clout. Like NovaOnline already has clout. He just has clout for the wrong reasons. But that's the point though. It's like, there ain't nothing you can do but hate on this man, because this man is a nasty dude. He's a creep. Like he's a creep. So it's like one of those things where it's like, you're just like, bro, why? I guess I feel like I wish his life had went a different way, and he had not been a creep and just been a weirdo. That like I wish he had been an Asmongold. You know, everybody, dudes just playing video games, just sitting back, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, maybe the girls don't like you too much and everything like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? People get resonated with that. Like, there's a lot of men, there's a lot of dudes that can resonate with that. And like, that would be cool. Those would be the people you want to see really come up, because those would be the people who really be having like good hearts and stuff too. But it's like, I guess he gives locals a bad name. He gives them Discord mods a bad name.
Out so we could see some modicum of muscle development.
Yeah, this man's form is awful, by the way. Like,
with bad form, barely lifting any weight, and then complaining about it. But who knows? Maybe Greg Doucette will react to him soon and give him some tips and tricks.
Pointless.
As for the job search, Nova somehow is always applying for jobs. In TikTok after TikTok, he's talking about applying for this job and applying for that job. But somehow he never manages to get work anywhere.
I also just finished up with a job interview, so I'm rewarding myself with a Costco pizza.
It's not entirely known how honest he's being about these supposed job interviews. On one hand, it is true that looking up his name online will yield a lot of very unfortunate results. At the same time, Nova is mostly applying to grocery stores, gas stations, and fast food places, which aren't necessarily keen on going through someone's entire digital footprint before hiring. Most of these places are happy to have almost anyone working there, as long as they aren't a violent felon who just—
Let's keep it a stack. That man not trying to get a job. He making just enough off of TikTok because people be making fun of him. He making enough off of YouTube and all that where like he can sustain. He can probably pay his bills, but we already know Nova's bills probably aren't hitting. Like he's probably living with his parents, something like that. I don't know. Y'all let me know if y'all know the Nova lore. But come on now, we know Nova's not like really like making that much. Like obviously, like people watch Nova's content essentially so they can figure out like if he's doing something wrong, because Nova really gonna be the next allegation. Like Nova about to be the next EDP. We're all just waiting. Let's keep it a stack. We're all just waiting and just watching his content for signs so we can go ahead and make that a police report and send this man off. And I don't feel bad about that, because like, who's gonna tell me I should feel bad for Nova talking to youth? Like, come on now, like absolutely. So that's kind of where we are right now. But I mean, I could understand being a job like dealing with Nova. Like, come on, imagine the second like you try to hire this person, you about to have a whole bunch of random people from various states around you come into your job talking about this man's a creep. This man's a creep, exposing them.
Just got out of jail. So it's likely that there is some level of dishonesty.
And what up to y'all in the chat? How y'all living out here today?
Is difficult to say. With this,
say what's up. I hope y'all having a great day.
New arc, cleaning his house. Through a series of videos, Gabe could be seen talking about cleaning out all of the clutter in his home, which from photos can be seen to be a mess of unvacuumed floors and hoarder-style piles of boxes and trash.
This is part.
Bro, we got it, bro. Like, wait. He should have said, well, this is part 3. Like, Brett said, just going. Look, he probably still going.
Hopefully it's part 13 or part 12. But this is either part 12 or 13 to the house cleaning saga. It's not a lot of progress, but it's still progress. So while I have some dinner cooking for my family, I did some dishes and did some other ones to prep for other washing. Also, I've noticed that every time that I get the counter a little bit messy or whatever, it's been so much easier to clean up. So really, in reality, when I do this house cleaning saga, I am really actually
Why is cleaning your house a saga? Cleaning your house is not supposed to be a saga. That's not supposed to be a mission. It's not supposed to be work going like it's a project. your weekly clean is a project. That's a problem. That's a problem. You gotta that's how you know he don't do this often, but we already know Nova. Like, he looks oily. Like, that's the word I would use to describe. If they say, what is NovaOnline, like, how can you describe NovaOnline? I would say he talks to children and he's oily. Like, I don't know why. It's something about like just calling something like oily is funny to me, but it's accurate though. Like, it's accurate.
Making things easier for myself in the future. Do it now and get it out of the way.
But yeah, this learning about Nova is fun. This is cool.
For context, Nova is 20.
Hope y'all having a great day out here too.
See someone his age realize, perhaps for the first time, that if you do something now, like cleaning, you won't have to do it later. What he doesn't seem to have realized is the next step, which is that if you regularly clean your house, it won't reach the state that Nova's house is in right now, with boxes and trash piled up everywhere, dirty floors, a messy kitchen, etc. He's almost reaching Asmund Gold levels of disgusting. It makes me think his parents didn't spend much time.
Oh, don't get me started on Asmund Gold. We gonna have to do a stream just looking at when they went through his house. I saw that. It was absolutely disgusting. It was the craziest thing I had ever seen. And you know, it was crazy too because it's like me, I've been grinding, trying to find YouTube success, trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying, everything like that. Asmund Gold, he's been doing it since he was like young, and he's found YouTube success because he's good at it. He's good at it. He's good at what he does. But his house though, oh my gosh, it's so nasty. It's like cringe. It's like one of those videos where it's like you watch it, but you're like hurt while you're watching it. You're like, bro, like this ain't right. Like, I almost wanted to call CPS like on him as a grown adult. I wanted to call Child Protective Services on this grown adult and be like, hey, bro, like, they need to clean something up, something wrong here, something not right here. But he's obviously doing something right here. He's making thousands of, you know what I'm saying, millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all know what I'm talking about, look up Asmund Gold's house. It's insane.
Teaching him how to do basically anything when he was growing up, and as a result, he's coming to conclusions and learning lessons that people usually realize when they're 10 years old, but he's realizing it about a decade later. The problem with Nova doing almost anything, though, comes down to work ethic, or lack thereof. Within just a few videos in this series, he began complaining about how tired he was from cleaning his house.
So I was gonna do a part I can't clap right now. I did the snap. I was gonna do a part 12 to the house cleaning saga, but this right behind me is the worst part of the house because this has to be done in multiple parts. So I'll just show you what I've got clean so far. It is like 11:30 at night right now. The energy in me was zapped, so I didn't get much done. Like, as I said, I removed the keep calm and carry on and put it up on my wall. And then I'm gonna bag up all these clothes in the morning and take up a lot less space. And then I'm also gonna drag them down to the laundromat when I can. And then pretty soon that part of my floor will be usable again after I don't know how long. But that's what's upcoming, and I'll show you a before and after photo.
I'm not even sure what made him so tired, considering the fact that all he was doing was picking things up and throwing them in trash bags. But maybe it had to do with the fact that instead of using his hands, he brought a literal snow shovel in the house to get things out of the way. This brought him a decent
snow shovel is insane.
amount of money, but also a lot of questions. Namely, why would you use a snow shovel made for snow to clean up your McDonald's wrappers? And as a result of the mockery and questions from this incident, the cleaning arc would come to an end.
His house is insane.
House cleaning saga, so house cleaning saga streams will no longer happen, but the videos will continue. As you can see, I've gotten a ton of dishes done. They're all right here. They just need to dry. And
that's what dishes look like when they're done? Supposed to put them away. What's going on?
They're waiting to be put away. Be on the lookout for some more cleaning videos in the near future as I try to improve how my house looks.
By looking through his TikToks, within just a week or so, he had already given up, referring to himself as the guy who used to be known for cleaning his house.
I had a thought earlier, like, y'all know me as the food review guy, the karaoke guy, the guy that tried to do a how to.
No, we all know you for something very different than that, but you got it.
Pace, but
Brushing aside the fact that none of these things are what he is known for, it's strange that he refers to it as at his own pace, considering the pace was always decided by him. Unless some supernatural force was controlling the pace at which he cleaned his home before this point, and I am just unaware of it. His aversion to doing basically anything that requires the smallest amount of effort would also bleed into other aspects of his life. If you've seen my last video about Nova, you may remember that one extra stream of income he had coming in was from Cameo. It's a site where you can send celebrities a short script and pay them to read it. People generally were dissatisfied with their purchases when it came to his page.
Because of how disappointed I was, I gave him a 1-star review. And immediately he decided to text me, DM me on Discord saying, "Why did you rate my Cameo 1 star?" And then I proceeded to explain how I was just disappointed with it, and he just said, "I'm just afraid to get bad reviews."
Well, Nova still offers this service, but this, too, he would find a way to complain about. For those waiting for a Cameo, I have 16 pending requests right now, as I've been in high demand as of late. Obviously, he has to add in that...
But having sending somebody like a Cameo of like NovaOnline is actually wild as fuck. Like, wild. That is wild.
he is in high demand, as if these people are anything but trolls trying to squeeze some content out of him. A Cameo is at max a 2-minute long video on average, and all it really is reading a script or giving a short shout out to whoever the buyer asks you to shout out. This is not some Herculean task that leaves you bedridden for the rest of the day. With this 2-minute benchmark in mind, this means that at most it would take Nova around half an hour to 40 minutes to record all of these videos, and considering that he charges $17 per Cameo, he could pull in a solid $272 from recording those videos. He's currently unemployed and apparently needs that money, but apparently getting this relatively easy task out of the way is simply too much for him. He would rather spend his time on his new business, making bracelets.
Tori placed a NovaCord paracord order. Let's ship it out. You ordered 2 bracelets, two-tone bracelets. You ordered a blue and beige, which honestly, I really like this one. And you also ordered a hot pink and beige. This one is definitely the best looking one.
Paracord is a kind of rope usually used in survival situations and is generally considered a pretty strong material. For whatever reason, Nova had developed a fascination with weaving it into bracelets and selling it online. He took the business so seriously that he even made some business cards for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my new business cards just arrived in the mail. And let me tell you, I love the way these things turned out. They look absolutely perfect. They got the NovaCord logo.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my god. It even has a watermark.
Now, this is just a prototype signature, but it's a lot better than that's.
By looking at his eBay store, we can see that the reviews for his bracelets are actually pretty positive. If you look for similar bracelets online, you'll find most of them being sold for around $5, and some of them even have useful items attached like compasses or flashlights. Meanwhile, Nova was selling them for $15 a piece. With this in mind, it seems his job search began to slow down, as he saw this bracelet business as a new avenue for him to make money. Maybe he wouldn't even need a job in the end. And the money itself would prove to be super important, as Nova's spending habits began to come into question. In his TikToks, Nova is constantly seen spending money. It seems like he orders a DoorDash almost every day so he can do his food reviews. And on top of that, he orders a number of toys and trinkets frequently, supposedly for the purpose of his reviews.
we've got the Yu-Gi-Oh! Retro packs here that I bought for $23.74 with my pro membership. We're going to open these and see if we get any bangers. Opening Adam Devine's Super Starter Kit.
I don't know who would be watching these. Any adult men who stumble across them and don't know who he is will undoubtedly quickly become aware of the number of disturbing habits that he partakes in. And any children run the risk of ending up in one of his many Discord servers. But more on that later. It's important to keep in mind that during this period of joblessness, Nova's mother began demanding rent money from him.
during this period of joblessness.
Which is fair given that he is 20 years old and does not contribute to the household whatsoever. But it seems like instead of doing that, he decided to spend his money on something else: water bottles. Nova developed a very strange fascination with containers that hold water, an interest that, much like his bracelets, I have a very hard time wrapping my head around. In particular, he's a big fan of flavored water, having a hard time drinking anything that isn't infused with a bunch of additives. For example, at one point, he decided to purchase a water bottle from Air Up, a company that creates flavored water bottles. And of course, he wanted to review it for his audience to see. After all, his endorsement or condemnation is sure to make or break any product.
We've tried Circle. We've tried Sela. Now, let's try Air Up. Out of price, this one was the most expensive at $40, when I think I paid about $25 for my Sela. Observing the bottle, this feels very well built, but it doesn't feel like it's the same quality as Circle. It came.
Y'all, there's so much NovaOnline. Nova be making me mad. Like, dealing with Nova be making me mad. Because Nova is somebody who doesn't deserve to be famous, but is famous because he's ugly and he's nasty. And he would do dastardly things that I can't even say here. But hey, we're going to turn this into a 3-part series because sitting here watching and learning about Nova is actually ending me. But hey guys, shout out to everybody who saw this live stream, all of that. You had a good time, definitely had fun. I think I'm gonna just run this as a 3-day series. I'm gonna catch the next part tomorrow, and then the day after that I'm gonna catch the 3rd part. Cut this into a little 3-parter, and yeah, it would be cool. But definitely good hanging out with you guys, everything like that. The first live streams back's been fun, and we're gonna have a whole bunch more, obviously not on Nova, but yeah, this will be